I'm indecisive whenever there's someone new. Can't tell if I should block them or just let them through. The moments we're together, everything is cool. But at this point in life, I don't know what to do. I gotta know when to stay and when I should go. Learn my lesson a while ago. Where I'll end up, nobody knows. Should take it slow, move with caution along this road. Could be dangerous, I don't know. But at this time, I'm just trying to pick up the vibe. I feel like it feels right this time. Maybe not, I can't quite decide. But at this time, maybe I should just live my life. Let it go and enjoy the ride. Maybe not, I can't quite decide. Keep calm when the wind blows. I know everything gonna work out, so I aim up high when it feels low. I know it's hard to trust someone these days, and I know I go overboard when I think about all these things. Thoughts inside my brain, try to keep it sane. I gotta know when to stay and when I should go. Learn my lesson a while ago. Where I'll end up, nobody knows. Should take it slow, move with caution along this road. Could be dangerous, I don't know. But at this time, I'm just trying to pick up the vibe. I feel like it feels right this time. Maybe not, I can't quite decide. But at this time, maybe I should just live my life. Let it go and enjoy the ride. Maybe not, I can't quite decide. But at this time, I'm just trying to pick up the vibe. I feel like it feels right this time. Maybe not, I can't quite decide. But at this time, maybe I should just live my life. Let it go and enjoy the ride. Maybe not, I can't quite decide. But at this time, pick up the vibe. Feels right this time. I can't decide. But at this time, just live my life. Enjoy the ride. But at this time, I'm just trying to pick up the vibe. I feel like it feels right this time. Maybe not, I can't quite decide. But at this time, maybe I should just live my life. Let it go and enjoy the ride. Maybe not, I can't quite decide.
I couldn't sleep, so I went for a walk. My brain doesn't care about the time on the clock. And the reflections of the branches of the trees on the ice look so nice. But that little voice in the back of my head says, what are you doing? You should get back in bed. And what would your mom say if you told her what you did today? But I'm singing, I'm smart, and I know where I'm going. And if worse comes to worse, I'll be my own undoing. Trying to communicate the thoughts I've been thinking. All that's falling out of my mouth is brain soup. It was your birthday, so we went to a bar. If I had to drive you, she threw up in your car. Oh, what would your dad say if you told him what you did today? But I'm singing, I'm smart, and I know where I'm going. And if worse comes to worse, I'll be my own undoing. Trying to communicate the thoughts I've been thinking. All that's falling out of my mouth is brain soup. But I'm singing, I'm smart, and I know where I'm going. And if worse comes to worse, I'll be my own undoing. Trying to communicate the thoughts I've been thinking. All that's falling out of my mouth is brain soup. But I'm singing, I'm smart, and I know where I'm going. And if worse comes to worse, I'll be my own undoing. Trying to communicate the thoughts I've been thinking. All that's falling out of my mouth is brain soup. But I'm singing, I'm smart, and I know where I'm going. And if worse comes to worse, I'll be my own undoing. Trying to communicate the thoughts I've been thinking. All that's falling out of my mouth. Brain soup.
Through the darkness of future past.
Why did you do it?
The magician longs to see.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to a Fallout Friday stream. I'm Thomas. I hope everybody is doing good. Welcome on in there, Dallas and Dean. And also Dallas, thank you so much for upgrading to a tier 2 tabletop titan. That is very much appreciated. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoy the new perks of helping decide one stream a month, and you get access, 24 hours early access to each video I upload. And welcome on in. Doing good? You can probably stay for an hour. Okay, I'm curious. In an hour, I saw that M. Kieran is doing their like wife versus wife stream. Are you catching that? I was gonna try to catch some of it later, but I don't know how long I'm streaming. This probably won't be a super long stream. Probably like 2 hours, 3 hours max. I got stuff to do a little bit after 4 today, but yeah, I wanted to hop back to some Fallout. It's been a while. I think specifically it's been like, let's check the Foundry logs. It's been 88 days since my last time I have played, so it's been too long because I don't know. I really liked where this story was going. I liked these characters. I put a good amount of time into creating the characters and the factions, and some NPCs and all that. So I'm happy to be returning to it, and yeah, I'm looking forward to kind of progressing the story a bit. I got a couple of ideas of things I want to get done today, things that Lilith could be trying to do. But yeah, hope everybody's doing good. It's kind of weird streaming at this day at this time, but I kind of like it. You know, I kind of like doing these periodic streams at different times, at different days. Yeah, not much is new with me. Been playing Defrag a bit this last week. I just did a video of that came out yesterday. Which I really like that game. I think that's a whole lot of fun. What else? Forbidden Lands. So I've been playing a bit of Forbidden Lands. I think probably later tonight I'm gonna reset up Slay the Spire on my table and play through a bit of that because I haven't played the board game version in over a week, maybe 2. Because whenever I played Fallout, the board game, is when I took down Slay the Spire, and I haven't set it up since. So. Got some coffee here, freshly brewed. Oh, you got it right. Okay, cool. You are gonna be tuned into that stream. Yeah, that sounded like a fun stream. I've been trying to. I've been pretty busy, but I do work remote, so I can sometimes tune into streams. So I've been trying to tune into more of a maxi streams. I caught one of their like game design, like when they're working on their like dating sim RPG for a little bit, but I caught like the tail end of that right before they were doing some like daily stuff. GDQ game jams have been consuming my time. GDQ, have you been doing stuff for that? Game jams. I heard. I remember you. I think I saw something like you mentioned you're working on some sort of game. I saw that in I think Maxi's chat at one point. I'm curious what kind of, is it like a tabletop game or? Because that sounds. I mean, I'm always interested in learning more games. That's all that's new with me. Yesterday was the 4th of July here. Good old America. Lots of fireworks going off last night. I celebrated kind of the night of the 3rd with a couple of friends, where they were doing like, my city kind of does the celebration like the night of the 3rd before the 4th. So then, because most people have the 4th off, so you celebrate the night before and then you have the day off. But that was good. I went out, got drinks, saw fireworks. Good time. And yeah, I took a half day yesterday just because I wanted to, at least have a morning to myself to sleep in and enjoy the holiday. I still did work a little bit and then just chilled yesterday evening. Did see some fireworks from my place, which was nice. See this weekend, I don't know, going to a comedy show tomorrow night. Should be fun for a comedian I've never really heard of, but they were just playing locally. What else? I haven't really been watching any new shows. Music wise, I've been listening to a lot of stuff. I've listened to Charlie XCX's new album Brat quite a lot, and that's really good. I like Charlie XCX. I liked a couple of her past albums quite a bit, and so this newest one I finally got around to listening to and is quite good. What else? What was that? What's that artist? Now I gotta look it up real fast. The other artist I've listened to a lot, Chapel Roan, and their album Rise and Fall of a Midwest Princess has a lot of really good songs on it. I really like really like their music. So I don't know, I've been listening to some of that. I don't know, I haven't been doing too much since last Sunday. I've been learning Dragonbane. I don't have it next to me, but I've been learning Dragonbane because that's what I'm playing on Sunday for my solo gaming Sunday, is playing the Dragonbane RPG, which I'm looking forward to. I've pretty much read through all the rules. I just need to actually play it a little bit, but that's what I'm gonna be doing tomorrow and Sunday before the stream. So I'm sure I'll understand it, hopefully good enough by the stream to kind of get what's going on. Yeah, I kind of want to just get hopping into this. I'm gonna pause the music, turn on some other music. I hope this works. Please work. Cool. Okay, that actually worked great. And yeah, we'll kind of just get into some Fallout. Because I don't, you know, the whole reason I wanted to do that, because I was supposed to do a video a couple weeks back, and then I didn't. And I was like, well, I'll do a stream to make it up, because then if I stream, you know, it's more time playing the game. I'll get a lot more done. That's what I want to do today. I want to get stuff done. I want to get the story moving. I want to cause some drama, start some wars, just cause havoc in the wasteland. I mean, because Lilith is she's the raider queen. Like, you know, she's trying to rule the land, and I feel like there hasn't been enough drama yet. I mean, I guess the series did start with her getting in a fight with someone, and then there was that whole thing, and then went back to the castle, and then that was not much going on at the castle, but then there was the transmission that she detected on the way back. Well, VRAM detected it. And then, of course, the transmission was targeting the Neon Maruaders, which is Lilith's group of raiders, so they had to go take down the radio tower, which... the way there, we had to fight a Deathclaw. That's what happened last session, was preparing for this nighttime raid, fighting a Deathclaw on the way there. Got near the tower, ran into some woman named Jane, who ended up being part of the Iron Reapers. She said she was scavenging in the area for like supplies. I didn't believe her, so we killed her. Found the radio tower. There were some turrets outside, killed one of the turrets, but then Brother of the Steel Paladin came out, along with a couple of Iron Reapers. They all lost, took out the other turrets, went inside. There was a scribe in there, and we took them out as well. We stayed to watch for more Reapers to show up. None did. At one point, the power goes out at the station. I don't remember if we got the power back on, but apparently it went out. Lilith and VRAM went back to the base, countered a couple of rad stags and a Mirelurk on the way back, but then made it back to the castle. And that was... I guess we left at 2:30. I have it. It's 4 a.m. right now, so it's late/early. Both characters are not doing too good on health. Lilith has 8 out of 6 health. VRAM has 3 out of 14. This is a video game one. I just watched GDQ. Okay, no, it was actually kind of funny. I went to a couple bars last night, or 2 nights ago for the 4th. And one bar I went to was a pretty chill bar, and they actually had GDQ up on some of the TVs in the bar. I was like, man, this is cool. I can sit in a bar, watch Twitch. They had Twitch chat up on the side too, so they had like the GDQ run on Twitch, which is really kind of fun. VTT or physical. So for Dragonbane, I bought the physical version, but I did also buy the Foundry module. I will probably play it on Sunday with the Foundry module, just because it helps make things a little bit easier. And I'll probably use Mythic. There's a nice Mythic Foundry module. And it's a little bit quicker and easier on my end, especially it's my first time playing it. But I do have the whole like core box for Dragonbane, so I can play it physically, but I don't know. And I might do both at some point, but I think Sunday I'm leaning towards doing Foundry. But yeah, that's a short little recap of the story so far with Lilith and VRAM. You don't know about Lilith, she's just trying to become the Raider Queen. She's good with energy weapons and robots. That's why she formed the Neon Maruaders, which is her little raiding group, and she repaired a broken Mr. Handy robot that she named VRAM. That's been her trusty companion since day one. VRAM, I don't really have any backstory info on, but I do have a good couple of like factions that I made up, a couple of neutral factions, a couple of hostile factions, a couple NPCs for each faction. I think I made like 2 per faction is what I wanted. So we got lots of stuff here to work with. the main things I think that's going to happen today, and that I'm going to kind of go towards, is that we just got done with this nighttime raid, and we kind of need to, you know, rest and heal. But after that, the main thing is, I think, oh, so this music seems a little loud. Why does this music seem like loud? Turn it down a little bit. It seemed like from our initial indicator of the radio signal that whoever was at the station was putting out, we got the, I think I wrote down that we think they were Iron Reapers. They said they were, or it was implied. And then when we were there, we were attacked by a Brotherhood of Steel Paladin. And I also had it written down, some Iron Reapers attacked us. So I think it's very clear that this radio tower incident was linked to the Iron Reapers. And they are one of the main factions we're feuding with, specifically over land here in South Boston. So we're held up in the castle here, but they have a lot of this other area that we often feud with. The other main faction is I'm forgetting their name now. It's bad. The Rust Devils are more of the scavenging group. The Green Monsters are like I almost kind of imagine them more of like a mob type faction, and they're kind of running things like a gang in Boston itself, in like Diamond City. They kind of rule that area. The Rust Devils are more northern, but they're kind of spread all over the place. And then Iron Reapers are more in the southern area, which Neon Maruaders, while we have a couple locations, our main one is the castle, but we don't have any big like land control. I guess this kind of small little area over here of South Boston, we're slowly getting land control over. The one area we don't really have control at the moment is the Gwinnett Brewery here, which is actually one of our current thread lists, was pursued the Gwent Brewery to side with the Neon Maruaders and kind of ally them to our side. So that's one of the things we might do today. But I think at the end of the day, this was a pretty big attack against... This was a big move. It wasn't really an attack against the Neon Maruaders, but it was you know, the Iron Reapers messed with us and they have to pay now. Obviously, we took out their people, we took down the radio station, and that's all good, but that's not enough. That is not enough for Lilith. We have to go get revenge, and make them pay. And so I think what today's kind of session is going to be is just how do we get revenge on the Iron Reapers, and maybe try to deal a blow to their faction, you know, take out one of their head leaders, take out one of their main bases, do some big event to get back at them, I think is what is going to happen today, and kind of what in my mind I think makes the most sense, because boy oh boy, is Lilith and the old Neon Maruaders not super happy with what just went down. I mean, now we do have access to a radio tower that we can use for our own propaganda and whatnot, which is great, but at the moment, yeah, and everybody's also a little injured. Like I said, Lilith's like at half health, VRAM is at 3 out of 14, so like I said, I think first scene here is just going to be us at the castle, resting, healing, kind of just maybe gathering info and starting to make a plan on how to get back at the Iron Reapers for all of this. I guess I need to figure out what Lilith knows. And also, I don't have a lot of this planned out. Like, I don't know where the Iron Reapers are located. I don't know if Lilith knows that. I don't know if I know who the leader is. I don't know if she knows that. Stuff like that. So we need to kind of figure out who knows what and then make a plan from there. So that's my little outline for today. Like I said, not going to be streaming too long. 3 hours at the absolute max. I imagine it'll be closer to like 2.5 hours. If you have a good idea, you can phrase your mythic question in the form of, does this interesting thing happen, or is it slightly different on a no? Okay, I like that. Yeah, I need to get, I really like mythic, but I feel like I could be a little bit better at it by, like, I don't know, interpreting stuff better, asking better fate questions, or making better use of like the thread list and character list. But you know, I'm still learning, but I really like mythic. I kind of, you know, any solo RPG, if I kind of can use it, I almost just want to, because the one thing I think I like most about mythic, besides everything else about it, is I really like the idea of just having a pretty standard fate question oracle, having the different odds that make sense, you know, and then I really like that the chaos factor alters the odds. Those things together, if Mythic was nothing else but that, I would still use it. But the fact that it also has, you know, the random events and the thread list and the character list and all the other tables, such a fan, such a big fan. I'll use it for pretty much everything, even if I don't have to. Okay, but let's go ahead and create a new scene. Yeah, how do I edit this? Okay, I just want to like copy this over. So it's technically a new day and a new scene. That's not how you create a new scene. That is not how you create a new scene either. There we go. Scene number 9. How have we only created 9 scenes so far? It's crazy to me. You know what? We're gonna start making progress. So this is gonna be summer 4. We can roll the. I still use the Iron Valley weather oracle. So today is cloudy. I love me a good weather oracle. We're starting right now. It's at 4 a.m. I mean, we could just start at noon and say like we just got back and just slept for like, I don't know, 8 hours. So we'll just start up at noon after taking like a long rest. I also think based on last scene, which last scene was coming back from the tower and whoops, this is not what I want. Coming back from the tower, power went out. We ran to a pack of 2 rad stags, ran to a Mile-Orc. So I think chaos factor probably goes up, unfortunately, which that means it's going to put it at a 7. 7 out of 10. It's not good. Don't love that. But that's okay. We'll deal with that. Let's also go ahead and rest up the characters because, like I said, I just took a long rest essentially. Is there a rest button? There's not. Okay, I need to double check what exactly you get from a rest. I have the. You know what? I need to give me like 30 seconds. I'm gonna go grab my physical book. I know, bad streamer, not prepared. I know. There we go. I got it here. I just want to double check how resting works, because I forget kind of exactly how that works. Like I said, it has been like 80 something days since I've last played this particular campaign, or this like playthrough. I have played Fallout since, but I haven't been playing it as much, so some of the rules, it's been a bit. I only need to sleep for 6 hours, but I think, don't I get, if you're able to get 8 hours somewhere safe and comfortable, you are considered well rested and you get your maximum HP increased by 2. Where's my mouse? Okay. So I am rested. Oh, but I click well rested and that puts me, and then, okay, so I just go back to full HP. Why is that freaking out? 18. And then how does resting for okay, recovering for robot? They got a little section on it. Because radiation reduces maximum. Or no, it's from rads. Duh. Wait, where's robots? They just repair themselves. I do forget how that works. I'm just gonna probably assume they can, or someone can repair them. I don't know. There's other people around at the base, but I don't. Oh, here we go. That's on the other page. An hour's work on a damaged machine restores HP equal to twice the repairer's repair skill. An hour's work, twice the repairer's repair skill. Well, I think we said who. Oh, my mouse is freaking out on me. Who went along to the raid? I know it was like Ghost and Circuit. Okay, no, so Ratchet is around. They're like our mechanics, so they can work on VRAM while I sleep, so that's chill. Are your screens bound to something? The screen shook when you typed. It shouldn't be. Wait, did it? It's not there. Was it with the health? That's weird. I don't know. Not seeing anything now. But I think I did see that out of the corner of my eye. I thought I saw something move on my screen, but I didn't. Keep an eye on that. So Ratchet's around, so he can repair VRAM back to full health. So everybody's chilling as we wake up at noon. And I'll go ahead and roll for a quick scene alteration. As we wake up, how are things around the castle? Are they calm? Of course they're not. Scene is interrupted. I wonder, the screen shaking might be something to do with... Okay, there's a lot of dice being rolled. It might have something to do with... I do have this full screened right now. I don't know if that makes a big difference, but I also don't want to unfull screen it right now because that might break everything. But if it does it again, I'll keep an eye out. I'll like figure something out. So my initial plan, I guess I should say what the scene was just Lilith and VRAM wake up and kind of make a game plan with some of the other members of the Neon Maruaders to figure out what we know about the Iron Reapers and how we can kind of get back at them. Clearly, this was interrupted by the introduction of a new NPC. And the description is carelessness nature. Okay. I also need to try to figure out some better, and maybe I can do it with this NPC to make sure, like, I need to try to include more non-combat encounters. I think someone made a point of that last stream, which is a good note. I think a lot of like my random events I've been interpreting more as like hostile or combat oriented when a lot of the times they shouldn't be. So I'll try to do that more, especially with this. So introduction of a new NPC, carelessness nature. So as we are sitting around at the castle, trying to figure out a game plan on how to take back the Reapers, to get back at the Iron Reapers, something happens where a new NPC comes by and interrupts us. Obviously they're being a bit careless. I wonder what that could entail. Maybe it's like another member of the Neon Maruaders that normally isn't around. Ooh. Maybe it's like someone that... Maybe it's like a Neon Maruaders person that's supposed to be like a spy. That's supposed to be a spy on like some other faction, but they show back up at the base, which is bad because now it's kind of obvious maybe they're a spy. That could be fun. Somebody with lots of rads. Ooh, that could also be good. Yeah, careless. But would that really affect other people? Would like someone, if they had a lot of rads, would that matter for other people? Can like rads spread? I don't think it can, right? Okay, I'm trying to think what else it could be. Maybe at least write down the initial scene. Lilith and VRAM try to figure out info on Iron Reapers. I'm trying to think what else it could be, because like the carelessness nature, if I'm either thinking it's someone that's part of the Neon Maruaders that like shouldn't be at the base for some reason, or like an ally that's showing up that's supposed to be undercover. That's kind of what comes to my mind first. The introduction of a new NPC. Maybe it could be also something like maybe like one of the members of the Neon Maruaders is working on recruiting, and so we have like one of the new recruits around base right now, and they do something like where they break something as we're all sitting around trying, and I'm like, Lilith is essentially their boss, right? And so new recruit is going around the base trying to like just do basic stuff like clean or something, and they end up like breaking something. I kind of like that. I might go with that. Because I don't know, that seems like that seems like a good way to introduce a new NPC. It's a new recruit. They were being careless. Makes sense why they're at the base. Doesn't completely derail the scene, but then be something new going on. That could be kind of fun. I need a good name. I'm not a huge fan of the Mythic name generator, but I like using it at least as like a starting point. Talby. Talbot. Talby. Toby. How about just like Toby? Just more of an opportunity to help someone. Oh, okay. So like someone comes by. Oh, I do kind of like that too. I mean, we can use this, this Toby. Like some random person comes by the base, not even knowing it's belongs to the Neon Maruaders, like looking for, yeah, maybe looking for help or looking for something. And clearly they don't know who we are, what we're about, so they're being kind of careless, just like walking up to like a big Raiders main base. I kind of like that too. Maybe I'll go with that. Talbot. Oh, okay. Yeah, Talbot. I've heard Talbot before as like a name. I don't know if that's how you pronounce what you wrote. Talbot. Yeah. Okay, we'll go with something like that. So, okay, so as we have probably like, I think I said that the castle is like a star-shaped kind of building, and it has a courtyard in the middle. So I imagine a lot of the times we probably just are in the courtyard. So if we're just trying to like plan out stuff, we're in the courtyard just talking. And I guess at some point, whoever is kind of keeping guard on the front door and maybe keeping watch from the tower or whatever, notifies us that there is someone approaching the base. And so we all kind of, get ready, get armed, and kind of prepare for like, oh, what's going on? But whoever like notifies us, we'll just get a name. So I think we got some other folks around base. So who do we got? Go to NPCs. I guess that makes sense because we got Circuit, Ghost, which I think are both. Two of those are gone, but I think we got Ratchet's around, and I think Blaze is around as well. So we'll say, yeah, Blaze was keeping an eye out or something. Comes down, tells us that there's someone that looks unarmed approaching. So we kind of prepare. I don't know. I was gonna say I could just have Blaze deal with it. No, I'll go. Well, yeah, I'm gonna have Blaze deal with it, and then I mean, Lilith's kind of the leader. Like she shouldn't be dealing with stuff like this. So I'll just have Blaze deal with it. So Blaze goes out and asks them what do you want? And I guess I'll ask Mythic what they want. Do they just want like food? I don't know. What do they? Do they want some sort of supplies? I think it's very likely. Whether that's caps, whether that's food, whether it's water, whether it's first aid, maybe. Do they need some sort of like, are they asking for like a thing, like a tangible thing? They are. Okay. Are they just asking for food? I'll go with likely. I don't know. They're just asking for food. They are. Okay, so we got this Talbot that approaches, and Blaze is trying to, figure out what they want. And it turns out what they want is some food. So I imagine Blaze tells them to maybe ask them who they are, and they say their name's Talbot. And maybe Blaze asks them what faction are you associated with there, Talbot? Does Talbot say they're associated with a faction? I think it's probably unlikely. We'll see. Like, do they say they're with somebody? They're like, no, I don't. Maybe they're like, say they're not even from the area, so they don't know who is who. And so that's why they just kind of carelessly walked up to this building. Okay, so let me start writing some of this down. So, man named Talbot approached, asking for food, claiming not to be from the faction. Okay. So I'm gonna ask a fake question. Maybe get a description for the mean. I guess that's true. I guess there's there's character descriptions, right? Descriptors. Yeah, a little bit of a descriptor, sure. Fast and masculine. Okay. Well, I guess I kind of assumed they were a guy, but that's, you know, it kind of backs that up a little bit. At least that they're more masculine at the very least. And they're fast, which I kind of like thinking maybe they're like a bit of they're just a fast talker. That can maybe be, so they're kind of talking pretty quick. Claim not to be from a faction, so they're kind of new to the area. They just want some food. Okay, so Blaze is just gonna go back inside and probably relay to us this information. Because we probably have a decent amount of food stocked up. I say, I don't know, I'll ask Blaze. I'll be like, Blaze, you were the one talking to him. Like, what do you think? Like, do we give him food? I think it's very unlikely Blaze agrees, but Blaze thinks we give him food. Yeah, maybe Blaze says something like along the lines of like, he doesn't like giving handouts, but this person seems pretty honest. And as long, you know, we don't have to give him a lot, but just a little bit. I'm like, well, all right, whatever. I'm like, I just say it comes out of your rations, Blaze. Got it. It comes out of your food portions. And so Blaze, I guess he just agrees and then goes and gives him a little bit of food. And I guess, does the man just leave after? I think it's very likely, but maybe he'll like linger around or try to ask more questions. No, the man just takes the food, thanks Blaze, and leaves. Okay, that was something. Who knows? Maybe we'll see Talbot again. We'll add him to the character list so we can. How about that? Now Mythic will help us see Talbot again. Cool. Thread list, we can also get rid of investigate newly discovered pre-war radio station. We did that last session. So let's start figuring out a bit of what we know and what we don't know, because that's what I need to figure out before we make a plan against the Iron Reapers here. So Lilith is, like I said, in the courtyard with VRAM and any of the other Neon Maruaders that are around. Like I said, I kind of have like 4 or 5 listed out, but I assume there's a good number floating around the castle. I imagine at any given time, there's probably at least a half dozen to a dozen other ones than the main like 4 or 5 at the top. Not a huge group, but you know, a respectable number. And so we're trying to make a plan on the Iron Reapers. So first off, I'm kind of just, let's move the time forward a little bit. We're at noon. There we go. I'll ask around and figure out, do we as a group know where the Iron Reapers are headquartered, like where their main base of operations is? I think it's, I don't know. I don't know. I'll do unsure because I don't know if we know. Do we? Do we not? We do know. Okay, so we know where their base is. Is it in South Boston? I think is very likely because that's where we're kind of feuding for territory. It is in South Boston. Okay. So what we know on Iron Reapers. Whoops. Reapers. No location of HQ in South Boston. Okay, so we do know that information. Do we know much about their headquarters? I think it's very unlikely, like specifically any useful details. No, of course we don't. Of course we don't. Location meaning table. Okay, so we can, yeah, maybe if we don't know specifics, we can maybe still get some like vague details. I'm fine with that. Because yeah, what I was rolling for if we know like what the layout is, how many people are there, stuff like that. What was the location meaning? Location, is that at the bottom? Am I missing it? I don't see location meaning. Monster. There's locations. Am I missing it? I don't see it. I probably scrolled past it like 3 times, but is that a Mythic first edition thing? Or is that not just on Foundry? It might not be on Foundry. I do not see. There's locations. I could generate like a. I could do like a. There's just the general locations table, I guess. I can try that one. It's calm and it's abandoned. Okay. I completely spelled abandoned. Okay, that works. Good enough. So we know that they take residence in some abandoned place, I guess. Which that's, you know, for the wasteland, that could kind of be anywhere. But okay, and so it is in South Boston, and we know where it is. So I guess we can try to figure out real fast where it is. Gunner Plaza might be kind of a fun spot. Is it Gunner Plaza? I mean, I've noted this a few times. I am not super familiar with Fallout 4. I've played it a little bit, not a whole lot. I've definitely not beaten it. So a lot of these locations, I am either kind of familiar with, or most of them I am not familiar with at all. So I'm just kind of looking around what looks cool and sounds cool, which Gunner's Plaza, I don't really know what that is, but that sounds like a cool area. So is it Gunner's Plaza? Which that's a good distance from our place too. No, it is. I guess it's not. I guess we could have just said it was, but now it's not. Ooh, the Coast Guard Pier. That could be an interesting one. Is it the Coast Guard Pier? We'll also go very likely. It is. Okay. Cool. Pier? Why do I'm spelling pier wrong. There we go. Pier. Okay. I assume we know who the leader is, which it's I forget their name. I have a name for their leader. I assume if we know where they're located, we at least know the leader, which is Commander Gregory Steelfist Harlan. It's like custom power armor and stuff. Sergeant Ironclad Vega is the second in command. So if we know where their base is, I mean, I kind of think we just go there and do something. I don't know what. Cause a ruckus. Try to take out Harlan, take out the second in command, just to, a little blow to morale. I don't know. I guess this is where I need to start coming up with actually a plan. But this is, I guess I need to figure out what we know. So we know Harlan is in charge. Does Harlan frequent the base? Do we know if Harlan frequents the base? We might know. I don't know. I'm gonna go with likely. Do we know if he frequents the base? Ooh, that just messed up my screen. No. So we have no idea if he's there all the time, if he's there none of the time. We don't know. Okay. Okay. Well, I'm gonna need to think for at least a minute or two here. So, And that I like that the Coast Guard pier is there, because this was the station we were just fighting at. And this is almost like an exact halfway point between our base and their base. So I think we could maybe use that like as a halfway point. Like we leave here soon, or maybe tomorrow, to get to like the radio tower by close to night. So then by the time we get to the Coast Guard pier, it's night, and then we do our famous nighttime assault raid with energy weapons and plasma weapons. Light up the night sky. Show them what the Neon Maruaders are all about. So I really need to figure out my plan here. How do we get back at the Iron Reapers? That's the question I need to figure out. Like, we go to their base, then what? We probably don't have any big weapons, any massive like explosives or anything like that. We have, you know, one of our top guys is Blaze, who deals with like flamethrowers and stuff, but I mean, if this is like a Coast Guard pier, I imagine it's not gonna be pretty flammable. There's gonna be water around. It's probably also pretty well built, even if it is like an abandoned pier that they're currently residing in. That's still something. So how do we take them down, or at least cause some issues for them? Not even take them down, but I mean, we really don't want them in the area anymore, and they're starting to cause more issues for us. So the sooner we take them down, the better. I think we just need to get more details on their base and figure out how exactly we can, you know, do we disrupt trade lines? Can we cut the power? Can we just get a bunch of Brahmin and set them loose in the base? Like, I need to figure out some, you know, good plan. I guess we need probably a little bit more info on the base itself, you know, how fortified it is. So maybe, as much as I'd like to just do stuff, we need to do a scouting thing. So I think we head to the radio station this evening. From there, we go to the base tonight to do a bit of a scouting mission for tomorrow's plan, or maybe in like 2 days. But let's just do that, because I want to get stuff going. I want to get rolling here, and we really don't know much about the base, so I think just going there and scouting it out is a little bit more fun anyway. So we'll just do that. So yeah, let's just get rolling. Okay, so we're at the castle, so that's gonna be 1 mile, 2 miles by road, 2.5 by road. And then like a mile off road, 2.5 miles on road and a mile off road. I need to pull up the Game Master Guide, which I don't have a physical version of. Do I? Wait, do I? Hold on. I'll be back in like 30 seconds. I'm gonna go see if I think I have a physical version. I do have a physical version. Well, how about that? Because I thought it was like a big actual book, but it's like a pamphlet sized book. Oh, and I flipped right to the page for character speed. Okay. So what is our agility score? We always look at like whoever has the lowest agility score, which would be the same, 5. Which we have the lowest movement speed. Okay, so we can move 2 miles per hour and 3 miles per hour in open terrain, 2 miles per hour in normal terrain, 1.5 miles in rough terrain. So it's a little afternoon now. We'll say with finishing planning, I don't know, it's like 12:30. With the commotion we had from the guy interrupting us and whatnot, we'll say it's just 1, just to make things a little bit easy. So I said, well, we had to move 1 mile, 2.5 miles on road, so that's like 1 hour, and then like 1.5 miles off road, which isn't, so it'll take like 2 hours to get to the radio tower. I don't know if that's what I calculated last time, but I'm assuming each square is a 0.5 mile. And that's that. So cool. Chaos factor probably goes down. I guess this would be a new scene, yeah. Not much really happened at the castle. But yeah, no, who do we want to grab? So Circuit and Ghost is who are still at the radio tower. So what we'll probably do is check in with them, see if anything else happened, have them come back to base, and then we'll chill at the radio tower till nightfall. Okay, that works. Yeah, I like that. I like that. All right. See, I guess we would do a new quick scene. Yeah, and I would say the chaos factor thankfully goes down. It was starting to get a little out of hand. I just love the way the chaos factor also goes. How it kind of ebbs and flows, where you have times, like parts of your game that the chaos factor is like really high and it just keeps getting higher, and there's other times where it's just low and it keeps getting lower. Nice little ebb and flow. So castle, that's where we're starting this. Okay. I also, like, a while back, Fallout, like, Foundry changed their, like, how the text looks. I really like how this looks with, like, the title and then the little header below it, or yeah, this is the page title, and then this is, like, the title part, I guess. I don't know. I like how it looks, though. They changed that. I don't know when, but I like it. So yeah, the chaos factor would go down. We're still chilling at, we have 3 action points. Overseer has 6. So next time we get into a fight, I'm gonna go crazy on spending some action points. But let's see if there's a scene alteration, which probably is gonna happen. Maybe not. I kind of hope not. Okay, good. So the scene proceeds normally. Do we... So maybe I'll go, what I kind of like doing is like going like in, because the whole scene is going to be traveling there. If you didn't get interrupted or disrupted or altered, which is good. But that, I think that still doesn't mean that there's not going to be anything going on, right? So maybe we'll like, it's like 2.5 miles. So maybe like halfway, or maybe in this first leg of the journey, do we encounter anything at all? I'm gonna go unsure. We'll just keep it at unsure. Do we encounter anything? Anything at all? No. I was trying to leave that open, so it could be hostile, it could be non-hostile, whatever. It seems like no. So we get to the Boston checkpoint as about, I think just a half hour goes by. Doesn't take long to get there. Then I guess we'll probably actually head out at like a little bit later, like 2. Push back time just an hour. So we get to there at like 2:30. And then let's do the other leg of the journey, which, do we encounter anything at all? Creatures, NPCs, anything? We do. Okay. Is it hostile? I think it's likely, but I'm not gonna, make it too high of an odds. I mean, in the way, I guess we'll leave it unsure. I'll give it a little bit better odds that it could be non-hostile. So whatever we encounter, is it hostile? No. And we got a random event. Oh boy. So no, we have an unexpected random event for an NPC positive of increase art. Okay. I guess, I mean, I always just normally roll on the character list for when it gives me like an NPC positive, but I guess I don't know what the proper way to do is. Maybe it's been a while since I've read through Mythic. Maybe I should give it a reread, but like, yeah, I don't know if I should just go with like an NPC that's in the scene, but I'm gonna roll a random character. The Commonwealth Scientist Guild. Okay, interesting. Increase art, and it's a positive event. I like the idea, because right now Lilith is pretty chill with the Commonwealth Scientist Guild. They're more of a neutral faction. The Neon Maruaders, not so much neutral. Some would consider hostile, depend on who you ask. But Lilith is on pretty good terms with the Scientist Guild, so they're not gonna clash, not gonna be super hostile. It'll be all pretty chill there. Increase in art. I kind of like the idea, especially this is a positive event. The first thing that came to mind is that the Commonwealth Scientist Guild is expanding, and they're opening up. Sorry if that made like noise. They're opening up a new branch in maybe like a part of Austin, or not Austin, Boston, or like a certain region of Boston or whatever. And they're trying to raise money for it. So they're going around selling art to increase their funds. See, art and increase, boom, used them both. And that's a positive, right? The guild is doing good. They're increasing, they're expanding, but they need more funds. So they're going around selling art. What kind of art would a scientist guild in the wasteland be selling? Something pretty nerdy, probably. I don't know. I mean, I have some dumb ideas that come to mind, but I'm trying to think of more like scientist related stuff, like just they make sculptures out of like beakers, or like sometimes at like, I feel like at carnivals, I mean, you probably see these elsewhere, but they have like those little like glass jars or cups that you can put like colorful sand in and make like sand things. I kind of like the idea that maybe they did like colorful sand in like beakers or flasks. Sounds like a fun little thing. Something like that. Yeah, so, okay, I'm gonna write that. So, let me update the journal, because I'll forget if not. First leg of journey. It's uneventful. We'll say that we encountered them a little bit south of Big John Salvage, which seems like a lot happens around there. I think that's around the area we encountered the Deathclaw yesterday when we were going to the radio tower. So yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just yesterday. That was last night that happened. So that's crazy times, and we're already back for more in this area. So we're right near the salvage yard. Encounter a group of scientists from the Science Guild selling art for their new expansion. I actually really like that idea. It's a fun little encounter. So yeah, we just see a bunch of people like lab coats, just walking around, and they have like a little cart behind them that they're pulling that's full of just, it's probably not the best made, but like little bits of like science art pieces. Yeah, whether it's just stuff like little flasks with colorful sand in them, or I don't know what else you'd really have. And they're trying to sell it. So I say, sure, I'll buy one. I ask, what's the price? There's this nice big like round bottom boiling flask, this big thing that has like colorful sand, and a lot of them they have sand in them, but this one, what they actually did is they made like a mini like terrarium type thing, so it has like plants inside of it, and it's pretty cool looking. It's pretty cool. And they're like, oh, that one is 100 caps. That's a little steep. Maybe I will make a barter check to try to bring them down a little bit. We'll make this just a 1 difficulty. I'll be like, is there any wiggle room? Like, I love it, I want it. 100 caps is a lot. That was not successful. We should have gotten our luck points back. I didn't mark that down. We should have. So I'm gonna spend a luck point to reroll. I'm gonna try just once. Okay. Well, 100 caps it is. I'll buy it for 100 caps. I'll be the owner of this cool. I'll add this in my miscellaneous, I guess. Science. We'll just do science flask art piece. That is peace. That's how you spell peace, right? Whatever. Cool. Okay, we got a nice little art piece, and look at that, a non-combat encounter. Now you can't say I don't do those, because I do. Great. And that was a fun little random event. So by this time we're like at it should be like 3 o'clock as we reach the end of this road, and we have this last little leg of the journey. So we made it to here fine. Here we ran to the trader, or I guess the scientists trying to sell their wares. And then we have finally this little leg of journeying to the radio tower through the mountains, through the hills, all that good stuff. So we'll do one final fate question. Do we encounter anything arriving at the radio tower? Or like arriving up to the radio tower? Do we encounter something? And we do. Okay, great. Is it hostile? We'll go with unsure again. Even though I think personally it probably should be more likely, but since I've been doing a lot of hostile combats, I'll try to, I'll fudge the numbers a little bit. So is it hostile? It is. Right. So what I'm gonna do now is just get a random event, I guess. Is it a human? Like, is it a person? Is it humanoid? Because that would like include ghouls too. I'm talking intelligent ghouls. I don't know. You know what? Is it a human? We'll go with likely. So we encounter hostile humans on the way to the radio tower. Great. Okay, so clearly I think we've established that the Iron Reapers are pretty easy to distinguish. They are very closely associated with the Brotherhood. They like the main guy wears a custom power armor. We encountered a paladin earlier and a scribe, so they are very Brotherhood adjacent, but they are not the Brotherhood. They are separate. They were probably very thick, like combat armor and whatnot. Maybe it's even painted a little bit to distinguish themselves. Can we tell if who we are fighting is the Iron Reapers? I'm gonna go with likely, but I don't know. We can tell. Is it the Iron Reapers then? So we can't tell whether or not it is, but is it? That's the real question. It is. Okay. So we're fighting a couple of Iron Reaper foot soldiers or whatever. Hopefully I didn't mess anything up. I don't know if I've mentioned this, but a while back I made a little bit of a website, a very, very simple website that's just written in like JavaScript HTML that is a bit of an encounter generator that I'm going to use to roll up a random encounter. So all it does, because basically to create an encounter in this game, at least by the book way of doing it, is whatever your level is, the character's level, there's a little formula that you can use to get your party's like XP amount, which since I have Lilith and VRAM are both level 7, our party's XP amount is currently 104. And then how you kind of balance encounters is just look at the enemy's XP amount that they give and try to get it total to be close to 104. And that's a balanced encounter, at least by the way of the book. So what I did is I made a little site that just, you can select an encounter type and then it will generate random encounters. So since these are raiders, the standard encounter would be to fight a raider psycho alongside 3 raiders is a standard encounter. That puts us at 104 XP, which is actually really close. Another fun thing I did with the site is that I made it so it can generate different difficulty encounters. So like that's a standard encounter, but also if you wanted an easier encounter, you could just fight a raider scaver and 2 raiders, and that's like 86 XP. If you wanted a harder fight, then you'd fight a single raider veteran, which is 120 XP. So it's kind of cool. It generates some like optional variants of encounters if you want a little bit harder, a little bit easier. But I think we'll go with that first one I generated, which we are going to fight 3 raiders and a raider psycho. Great. Okay, we're gonna do a little bit of combat. Let's get into this. Let's try to combat. I sometimes drag on. I will try to not today. I'll do my best. Lilith and VRAM, and we gotta get our characters out. Creatures, so what I say, three raiders and 1 raider psycho. Okay, I don't like how it did that, but that's fine. It's not the end of the world. Raider, and raider psycho. Stop. I need to stop doing that. Is that just for this scene? What's going on? Can we not do token vision? That is not necessary. We do not need token vision. There we go. Because I don't know why that would be a thing. We need 1 more raider. Let's put them in a little bit of a little formation there. Oh, my mouse is freaking out again. Not good. Sorry if that. Okay. We're back. Hopefully that. I was switching screens a little bit to get to my little encounter generator, so hopefully that didn't like bug out the stream or anything like that. So we're gonna be entering some combat, but first, I mean, well, I can do this. Not like I have to do this first. We'll just add everybody to the combat tracker. Whoop. And we all got a thing. I forgot we don't roll for initiative. That's just how this works. Why are we already in round 3? I guess that doesn't really matter. Actually, round 1. Whatever. Okay. The one thing I want to figure out real fast before we hop into a little bit of combat is sorry, I mean to maybe not do this in full screen anymore because it looks like it kind of glitches out every now and again. I need to figure out if anybody had surprise round. Did the Raiders get a surprise on us? Did we get a surprise on the Raiders? Did somebody get a surprise round? I think it's likely, but maybe not. Maybe nobody got a surprise on anybody. Yes, and there's a random event. Okay, here we go. Ooh, a random event. Interesting. This is kind of fun. So someone did get a surprise round. We'll have to figure out who in a second. But I also wrote up that there was a random event as we're heading into combat that's a PC positive, so something for Lilith, and that's befriend and fame, which I think is a really interesting combo of words because we know like Lilith's pretty well known. She is kind of known throughout the wasteland. She's the head of her own raider group. She's pretty well known. I mean, the whole first opening scene was her getting in a fight because someone recognized her. So she's a well-known character. And I like that we do know that someone did get a surprise round. And the random event is a positive for the player character, and it's befriend and fame. Okay, here's what I think. The befriend is kind of tough, but I like one thing that I really like that I might just go with is that these raiders see Lilith and VRAM approaching, and they have the jump. We don't see them yet. We don't see the raiders. But as soon as the raiders kind of see us and we get a little bit closer, one of them in excitement recognizes Lilith, and he's like, "Wait, that's Lilith!" And he says it like kind of loudly, alerting us that they're there. So yeah, I think I was going to say that essentially they did have the jump on us, but because the one raider exclaimed like, "Wait, it's Lilith," like he gave away their location. So we're just going to say nobody actually has like a free first, what do you call it? Like attack. And we're just going to hop into initiative order. Starting with Lilith, the top of the order, fighting off against 4 raiders. One of them apparently recognizes her. They're a little bit away. They were hiding up kind of on a hill. This is a little bit of a hilly area. We're still a little bit a ways from the radio tower. Lilith will, of course, just probably pull out her musket because we're at a good range for that, and fire away. Not enough fusion cell ammo. Did I run out of fusion cells? Oh, I was gonna grab some while back at base. I did forget to do that. I might retroactively say I was gonna do that, because I think I even made, I was rewatching my last VOD, and I think I made I didn't mention that. I was like, I am out of fusion cells. I'm gonna say I had some that I picked up, but I don't, I don't want the castle just to be an infinite wealth of stuff that I can always go to. But I feel like, we have the Neon Maruaders, so I think having energy weapon ammo is not that crazy of a thought, essentially. So yeah, we'll just say we grabbed like 10 fusion cells. They each have 10 shots in them. That seems like a lot. I think that'll be okay. I think that's a good amount. I'll just have to remember to buy some. But let's fire the laser musket at just the one in front that looks like the leader. I will get an extra action point, or an extra D20. Thank you very much. Yeesh. And I was aiming as a minor action. I didn't say that, but I didn't have to move, so I was aiming for sure. That's 3 successes. Let me triple check. Open up the book to see what these guys' stats are. But I don't think their defense, mainly their defense is all I need to know. And they're just a Raider Psycho, so their defense is only 1. Sucks for them. That means I got 2 successes, banked for 2 action points, and we are going to be firing away at our with our laser musket. I'm gonna double check if I have anything I need to use. I don't think at the moment. I have Laser Commander. I'm gonna triple check real fast. I think I already have that as part of my damage that I do, incorporated in, but let me check real fast. Pull up I gotta find out where the laser guns are. Small guns, energy weapons, laser musket is what I have. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because I have it doing base 7 damage. Normally it only does 5, but I think I also have it modded, and I have it like that perk. So I think I'm okay. I think that's correct, and I don't need to add any extra damage. Besides, I guess the fire rate, right? So the fire rate is 0, so never mind. No fire rate damage. But we are going to be hitting them in the left leg, so let's roll for damage. Yikes. Not good. Oh, and I flipped away from the Raider page. Good job, me. Give me a second. Where did it go? It's, I think, after robots, right? Super mutants, turrets, scribes. Yo, where did the Raiders go? There they are. Their armor, they do have 1 physical on the arms, legs, and torso. 1 physical armor on arms, legs, and torso. So I hit them for 4 with 1 piercing, so that does 4 damage to their leg. Unfortunately, not enough for a critical hit, but that is totally okay. Totally okay. Not a crazy good first turn, but we'll, it's not the worst. We at least did some damage. I would have preferred to at least do 1 more damage and actually cripple them. I guess, hold on. I guess you can use luck points to reroll some D6s, right? So maybe, yeah, I can use a luck point to reroll up to 3. You know what? I don't think I've ever done that, and I'm gonna do it now. I'm gonna spend my luck points because you know what? I could use a little bit of extra luck on my side. So I'm gonna reroll these 3. There we go. That is 8 damage, so I'll do -4 again. And with that, that's enough to trigger a critical hit on his leg that will collapse his leg, causing him to fall prone. Boom. He's not going to be coming at us anytime soon. Fantastic. So let's get on with the initiative. I want to keep this combat rolling right along with VRAM. VRAM will use his minor action to move up to the prone character and just slice at him with his buzzsaw, really. I want to double check something real fast here. I'll use my little bookmark. I want to triple check what. One thing I kind of forget is when you're prone, how does that work? In the sense of, like, I know there's some bonuses you get and some restrictions. Like, being prone is not good, and like I think it's like attacks against you have a plus modifier, but then if it's a ranged attack, it's not. So while you're prone, enemies at medium range or further add 1 to difficulty, but when you're prone, enemies at close range reduce the difficulty of attack by 1 to a minimum of 0. So if VRAM, or I say not if, now that VRAM is coming up, uses minor attack to move, goes up to the prone Raider Psycho and swings at him with his buzzsaw attachment. Not going to roll any extra d20 because it's a 0 difficulty test. Not trying to hit anywhere specifically. I do have the Slayer perk. And we should be back at 5 luck points, I guess. Okay, let's see. Does VRAM's buzzsaw hit the Raider? Hopefully. Yeah, 2 successes. We are maxed out on action points now. Let's do some damage. Piercing strike is going to add piercing, but we already do that. And I guess what? I can spend action points to do extra damage, right? With a melee attack up to 3? Isn't that one of the main things I can do? Where is it? Yeah, add extra damage. Add extra 3 extra dice. Yeah, that's because they're at what? 5? What? How? 6 health total? We'll do 2. I rolled 2 extra. We'll do 2 extra here. So we'll do 7 dice total. That should be enough for 5 damage, right? Heck yeah, it is. Hit him in the left leg, which is the one I think already just got hit. Hit him for 9 damage as VRAM charges up his buzzsaw. This Raider's on the ground after having his leg shot at. His leg collapsed because of Lilith's laser musket. He falls to the ground. This robot comes up with a buzzsaw, chops at his leg, chops it off. The bleeding kills him, and he dies. Kind of a gruesome death, but you know what? That's the wasteland for you. They are dead. So now we move on to one of the, let's see, this Raider on the side here. So I don't even know. Close out of this for a second. We'll move this over here. Don't really need that. What their main weapons are. So they have a tire iron and a pipe gun. Pipe gun can be used at close range. Tire iron is probably what they're going to do because VRAM's right next to them. So they're just going to try to swing their tire iron for sure. They're getting an extra d20 because GM has a lot of action points right now. And they were aiming for sure because they didn't have anything else to do with their minor action. So they're going to reroll that. 1 success. Is that enough to hit VRAM? It is. Unfortunately, it is. So then it's exactly enough, actually. So, oh, the Raider panel's right here. I was like, why isn't it opening? We'll spend an extra action point just to do a little bit of extra damage. Poor old VRAM, as VRAM gets hit in the arm number 1 for 5 damage. So arm number 1 takes 5 damage, but he does have 2 physical, so he only takes 3. Thankfully, because of the reduction, he's not going to have critical injury, which is great. Love that. This should have changed here. I don't know why I updated the other spot, but okay. Raider 1 done. On to Raider 2. Which one's attacking? The one on the other side is probably also just going to swing their tire iron at VRAM, also rolling an extra d20, also aiming as their minor action since they don't have to move. Ooh, this is going to hurt for poor VRAM. That is 4 successes. So they just banked 3 action points. They're going to go ahead and spend 2 of them on extra dice to just bash VRAM's stupid metal body in, I guess. They're doing 7 damage to arm number 1. Man, what's with arm number 1? Why are they going after arm number 1? Yeah, 7 damage is a lot, first off. But we do thankfully block 2 of it, so it's only 5, bringing us down to 6. But that does, arm number 1 takes a critical injury. Which I don't know which arm is which, but Buzzsaw is listed as the first. So I think that's arm number 1, which kind of sucks, because that's my main weapon for VRAM. Love that. Okay, poor VRAM. VRAM's going through it. I also keep updating the wrong place. Not that it really matters, but it kind of does. So he's down to 6 health now, right? Great. Good job, VRAM. Okay. I get a quick sip of coffee. We're doing on time. We're almost at an hour and a half already. Jeez, time flies. We're getting some stuff done though, so I'm not, you know, I want to finish this combat pretty quick, but we're making progress. So then it's the last Ranger's turn, which they are just going to, they're going to move around the side here as their minor action, and then major action, they're going to fight with their pipe gun, adding an extra d20 to try to shoot at Lilith. They couldn't aim as their minor action because they moved, but they only needed 1, which they got, so they are good there. Their pipe gun has a fire rate of 2, meaning they can roll up to 5 dice. They're going to be hitting Lilith in the torso for 2 whole damage, which she just blocks. She just eats that. Lilith eats 2 damage for breakfast. So it's back to her turn. She is going to immediately look at the guy that just fired at her, aim with her laser musket, try to shoot at him, get an extra d20. Let's get it going. We only need 1 success. What do we got? We got 3. We got 3 successes, so we can bank 2 action points as we fire the laser musket. We're hitting him in the left arm for, let's see how much. 8 piercing damage. Oh, and they have exactly 8 health. Sucks for them. I blow off their left arm and they die. Dang, dude, maybe you shouldn't have shot at me. That's messed up. VRAM's turn next. He's going to look at, I don't know, the one on the left, and try to, I guess, does he not? I'll ask Mythic. Was the arm that got injured the buzzsaw arm? I'll be generous and make it very likely, but I don't know for sure. It wasn't. Okay, so the buzzsaw arm is fine. Was it the flamer arm? Which I don't even use that one. Yes, it was. Okay, so buzzsaw arm. I asked Mythic. I said it's still active. So I will roll attempt to hit, aim as a minor action, attack as my major action. Reroll one of these, even though it's already a success. Okay, we basically rolled the same thing. But that's still 3 successes. That's 2 extra action points, which I'm going to go ahead and immediately spend those on some extra dice to hit this guy for 7 total dice, hitting them in the right arm for 5 piercing damage, which -5, because that would break through their armor, brings them down to 3. That's enough for a critical injury, meaning that they're also going to drop whatever they're holding, which is their tire iron. So good for us. Yeah, VRAM's not doing too good. Another hit, he might die. So it's this guy's turn now. I need to double check something real fast about action. Specifically, what is it to pick up something? Draw an item is a minor action, but if it's like on the, like they just dropped their weapon. What is it? How do they pick that back up? Is it a major action? Is it a minor action? I think it's a minor, but I want to double check. Pulling up like the crit area, seeing if it mentions it. But you can't perform any actions using that arm. Oh, so even if they pick up their tire iron, they couldn't use it. So maybe what they'll do instead is on their turn, they draw their pipe gun as their minor action, and try to shoot at Lilith. So they're going to spend a d20 to try to hit her. Oof. Okay. So that will hit. That will bank an action point. There is a complication. I don't know what the complication is. So we got what they're rolling 5 dice. Or is she getting hit in the torso again? We'll figure out the complications. Maybe it's like the gun jams, so they can't use it next round or something. 5 damage to Lilith. Oof. But it's in the torso. So that is reduced down to 3. So luckily not enough for a critical injury. So Lilith is still chilling. She's still vibing. And we're back to the last raider. This is probably gonna be their last turn. They still have their tire iron out, so they're gonna try to hit at VRAM because VRAM's looking dented. He's probably like smoking. They are aiming for sure because they're not moving. Come on, not like this, VRAM, don't go down. They bank an action point. They will then swing with the tire iron, spending 2 action points to roll 6 dice, hitting VRAM in the torso for 3 damage. That's definitely not enough, right? Because he blocks 1, he gets hit for 2, bringing him down to 4 health. He is still very much alive and floating, which is great because we're back to the top of the order with Lilith, and Lilith is not here to mess around. She aims her plasma musket at the guy to the left of VRAM, shooting it away, getting an extra d20 for sure. I said we were aiming, so we be aiming. That is 4 successes, 3 banked action points. She lands her shot with the laser musket in his left arm, hitting him for 4 piercing damage, which is unfortunately not enough to take them out. That does break through the armor. I guess I can spend like action points to go again, right? I never do this. I'm gonna do it. I never do. I don't know if I've ever done this. I'm gonna spend 2 action points to take another major action and fire again at the same guy. It's an extra difficulty, so I will spend an extra point. I do need 2 successes. I don't think I can aim, so I'm really just with this roll, but I got it. That's enough. That if we go all out, that's 6 damage. Yeah, I hit him right in the head. Hit him right in the noggin. 6 damage. The plasma musket. The guy's dead. He's very dead. And now it's up to VRAM to finish this off. VRAM charges up his buzzsaw, aims it at the one guy, spends an extra d20, of course. We want to be able to hit. Got 6 successes. Holy cow. That's crazy. He got 3 critical hits. 3. He only needed 1, so he banks a lot of points. We were down to 2 action points. Now we're back up to 6. He'll spend at least 1 to do extra damage, but I don't think we're going to need much more than that. This guy's looking rough. He's hitting him in the right leg. Okay, VRAM, you're spending some luck points. That was a bad roll. That was a bad roll. He's spending luck points to re-roll 3 of these because that was a bad roll. That's not much better. It's really not much better. 4 piercing, though, is enough to take out the final raider. Whew. That was kind of a tough fight. Okay, so combat's over. We're out of initiative. First things first. Not the most important, but let's get our XP. So that was worth 103 XP. So 103. So Lilith is at 2378. And good old VRAM here. He's at 1132. So he's at 1235. Cool. Got our XP. Let's quickly loot the bodies for their gear. And then I want to loot the bodies with Mythic to see if they had any good info on them. You know, any notes, any plans, maps, you know, anything like more narrative wise. But Yeah. So let me write this down real fast in the journal. So this was in the hills outside of the radio tower. We encountered 4, right? 4 iron reapers. One was there was just 4 of them. We knew one was like a more leader type, but it wasn't like anybody super high up. Yeah, so we encountered 4 of them. Great, fun. Let's loot their bodies. We'll see if they have shit on them. I'm gonna heal up VRAM. We'll get to the radio tower, see what the situation is, wait till night, and then make our way over to their base to start scouting it out, which is probably where we'll wrap up. Like I said, I think today was going to be a little bit of a shorter stream. I mean, I was still going to play for at least another half hour to do everything I just talked about. But yeah, I feel like we're making some good progress. Got some things cooking. We've already, met a couple new NPCs. We met Talbot and the artists from the Scientist Guild that were trying to sell stuff. So I feel like, we're making good progress. Try not to, dilly-dally too much here. Yeah, if we're at least at the Iron Reaper's base, I'll be pretty happy. I think that'll be good progress. I'm just gonna check my phone real fast. Okay. Okay. Sorry. I know how rude of me to check my phone. So cool. That was a fun little fight. So let's see. I'm kind of all over the place. Let me loot the raiders, and then we'll go from there. So let me delete these guys out. Don't need them. Also, we can delete these tokens off the screen. Don't need them. I'm gonna delete these out of the side as well because don't need that. So there was 4 raiders and a raider psycho. That was a pretty good encounter. I also realized a little bit after, so I mentioned I had a little encounter generator that I used to generate encounters, who would have guessed, that uses like levels, the level number to calculate the, a standard encounter essentially. That was more difficult than it should have been because I thought both Lilith and VRAM were level 7 and that was calculating off that, but VRAM's only level 5. I forgot VRAM's a little bit lower level than Lilith, which I kind of like actually. I mean, it makes sense. Lilith's pretty powerful. VRAM, while a good robot, has not been, traveling with Lilith as long, so I kind of like that I did that he's a little bit lower level, but I kind of forgot that I did that at the same point. So raiders don't have too much on them. They have road leathers, pipe gun, tire iron, and wealth of 1. So let's go ahead and let's roll for wealth. So wealth of 1 just means a d20. There was 4 of them, so let's roll 4 d20. Ooh, that was a pretty high roll. 43 caps total. Holy cow. 43 puts us at what, 74? 174? God, I need my caps after buying this stupid art piece earlier. Not stupid. I like it. That's why I bought it. I bought it because I liked it. How is VRAM doing on encumbrance? Because I might just give him all of this gear. He actually doesn't have that much space. I don't know if I do either. Actually, I have a lot of space. Because we basically get 4 things of tire irons, 4 things of road leathers, 4 things of pipe guns. So we'll give some of it to VRAM here. So let me open up weapons. Pipe gun. I don't know how much these weigh, but we'll give these 4 to him first, and then we'll figure out how we're looking. I don't want to over encumber the poor robot, but oof, yeah, he's close now. Okay, I'm gonna leave the tire irons. I'll take the road leathers. That's what I'll do. I guess all 4 of them. These things probably weigh a lot. I guess they don't. They don't weigh that much. Looks like they just weigh 1 pound each, so that's like nothing. Yeah, okay, that's fine. Cool. So and then there's also the Raider Psycho we can loot. They have a double barrel shotgun and a machete, which I'll definitely take. Those seem valuable. Machete and a double barrel shotgun, and they have a wealth of 1. So I should have just added that in when I did the wealth roll, but I was just trying to keep everything a little separate. So we get 19 caps. Holy cow! So 183. Perfect. Okay, so the final thing I wanted to do, I know we need to heal up VRAM here. Before we leave these bodies behind, leave this, try to get to the radio tower here soon. I want to look around. So we've already looted their bodies for items and whatnot, but do any of these Iron Reapers have anything on them of value to the Neon Marauders? Like, do they have, is it like some layout, some plan, some note from a higher up on something going on? I think it's likely that they might have something on them, but I don't know. I don't want to go very likely. I don't want to push the odds too much. Oh, exceptional, yes. Okay. Is it related to the Neon Marauders? Whatever we find. I'm assuming it's some sort of paper with something written on it. Exceptionally, yes. Oh my god. Okay, big story, big story. So, as I'm looting the body, loot the 4 small raiders. Not much is on them. But then I loot the main raider. There was only 3 small raiders. I think I gave myself extra stuff, but it doesn't matter too much. I think there was only 3 because there was the 2 on the side, the 1 in the back, and then the main one. So there's 4 total, 3 normal ones, and Psycho. Okay. So they do have something, worth noting. Some plan, some outline, some map, something, right? And it is exceptionally something. So something very valuable, something very important, something that really should not have gotten out of the hands of an Iron Reaper or the Iron Reapers, but it did. And then I asked the next question, is it related to the Neon Marauders? And we got back an exceptional yes. Exceptional. So it's not like this is some vague plan that just mentions the Neon Marauders. Like, this is something big, like some big plan, or I don't know. So let me ask, is this related to the tower, the radio tower? Was this like for something that already happened? Okay, so it is related to the radio tower. Is it about something that's already happened? Is it about, wait, I'll flip the question. Let me flip the question. Is it about something that's going to happen? I think it's likely. It is. Okay. So I need to start writing this down. Lead Raider had a paper on them with info related directly to the Neon Marauders. I think I spelled Marauders wrong. Totally fine. Don't judge me on my spelling. These are just brief notes. So there is something related to the Neon Marauders. We did find something. It's related to the Neon Marauders. It is related to radio tower and is for something that hasn't happened yet, essentially. Intro. There's so many things it could be. So many things it could be. So I'm curious. These Neon Marauders might work, or Neon Reapers might work fast, because it was just last night that we went there, took out the base. At one point it did lose power. We don't know if the power came back. We also don't know if the people there are okay. But it seems like, let's start narrowing this down, what this is. Is this the paper we found, is it for some sort of plan? Like, is it an outline or something for some sort of plan? I think it's likely. It's probably not like a map. That's my other guess. It's like a map, but it's not a map. It's like an outline. It's an outline slash plan. Okay. So it involves the radio tower in some way. Is this a plan in response to what we did to take the tower? Like, is it a direct response of what happened last night? I'm gonna go with likely, but I don't know for sure. That's what makes sense. No. Interesting. So what I think it probably is they had some big grand plan for this radio tower and for stuff they were maybe going to do with it specifically against us. And we put a stop to it before they could even get to like phase 1 of it or whatever. Interesting. Okay, I think that's good enough. We'll leave it there. I mean, we can maybe dive more into what exactly this paper is at another point, but I think that's, you know, that's all I want to know, is that they did have something on them. And we figured out that this radio tower was going to be important to the Iron Reapers. So honestly, what I thought was going to be kind of a little thing turned out like this might be pretty major for them. Maybe we can, maybe the note goes into detail and we can kind of figure out here in a bit what exactly that entails, like what their plan was, and, you know, to kind of prepare for the future. But let's get to the radio tower. Let's get there first, and then we'll figure it out from there. So we'll pass time a little bit with that fight and a little bit more traveling. We'll say it's like 3:30. And then we finish the rest of the journey, which I think this was an hour. So we'll say it's like 4:30 by the time we roll up at the radio tower. Which is great. Good stuff. So, I would say it's probably a new scene. That took, what, 2.5 hours to get there? I think that's pretty much what I estimated. I think that's a little bit longer because there was a couple of random events, but that's totally fine. You know, that's how this dang thing works. There's got to be some random events every now and again. So we're rolling up at 4:30 when we get to the radio tower. Kind of collapse my journal, move that back over. I wish there was like a button to do a new page so I wouldn't have to do that every time. To have to expand it, click new page, make it go back, have to put it back how I had it. It's kind of annoying, but you know, I still love Foundry. I think Foundry speeds up play so much. It makes playing solo so much easier. Like if I was trying to keep track of all of this with character sheets and items and encounters and Mythic, like this would take so much more time and be such a pain. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Foundry. That's all there is to say, really. But yeah, we get to the radio tower. And I guess ideally, I mean, our plan is to get to radio tower to reconvene with the two folks there, which I think is Circuit and Ghost. This is who we left there to kind of keep a watch on things to make sure nothing transpired while we were gone. And yeah, just to reconvene with them, figure out a plan, you know, let them, because they've been there since last night when we were there, so they've been there overnight for like the past like 12 hours essentially. So they're probably like, they need a break. We'll probably send them to go back to the castle. Let's see if it's 4:30 now. 5 would be like 7. Yeah, so they could go back and then send some other people to come back here, and then whenever the other, so we could send like those two back, they go chill at the castle. We send 2 others like Blaze and Ratchet to come over, and when they get here, then we leave. I think that's the plan. So that's the plan. Let me see how Mythic lets that all kind of shake out here though. Based on the last scene, so the first leg was uneventful. We ran to the group of scientists, we ran to a group of Iron Reapers, we did defeat them and found some good info. Were we in control? I would say, yeah, I mean, we encountered the Reapers, but we killed them pretty easily. So we'll decrease the chaos factor and roll for scene alteration, I guess. Back to 5. Oh no, not a PC negative. Okay, so we gotta figure out something here. As we're making the last leg of the trip to the radio tower, the scene is interrupted. Our walk is interrupted by some negative event. The event is assist friendship. I don't know. This is kind of a tough event. PC negative, assist friendship. So one thing that comes to mind, this might be dumb, but it's the first thing that came to my mind, and this may be what I'll go with, is that VRAM is not doing good right now. VRAM is at 4 out of 14 health. It lost access to its flamer arm. VRAM is on the verge of shutting down. Probably not doing too hot. Obviously it's a robot. I was gonna say it's not super happy. It's a robot, so like, you know, it can't really feel, but its sensors are saying, hey, this is not good. So I like the idea that that maybe like on the way to the radio station, like VRAM just shuts down or like glitches out and just kind of like shuts off. Or like maybe stops floating or whatever, like he can't move anymore until he's repaired. And so this is a negative thing, and now Lilith has to assist her friend ship. There we go. There's assist friendship. There's I tied it all together. Okay, so I'll say upon getting near the radio station, VRAM starts smoking due to injuries. Not like he pulled out a cigarette, like he starts smoking due to his injuries, and starts, we'll just say like starts malfunctioning. I was gonna try to wait till we get back to fix them, but it seems like I need to kind of do that now. So I'm gonna reopen the book real fast, double check how exactly repairing robots work. But I think it's just I think it was what, an hour and a repair test, right? Attempting first aid action on a robot. Oh, machines cannot heal through drinking. Outside of combat, an hour's work on a damaged machine restores HP equal to twice the repair skill rating. An hour, twice the repair skill rating. So I guess as much as I don't really want to spend an hour repairing him, but my repair skill rating is 3, so it repairs him for 6 up to 10. I don't know if that repairs the broken arm as well, but we'll say that he still can't use his flamer arm for the time being, but at least that he's functioning again. And then it's 5:30 by the time we roll up at the radio station tower thing. I'm gonna quickly ask Mythic, is there anything I don't even know, is there anything like outside the tower? You know, do we see, is the tower, or as we walk up to the tower, does anything catch our eye? Is the tower on fire? Is Iron Reapers surrounding it? Or do we just see, you know, Ghost and who was the other one? Circuit just chilling outside enjoying a Nuka-Cola? So do we see anything of concern? How about I'll put it that way? I'm gonna go with unlikely, but I don't know for sure. We do see something of concern. Is it that we see someone like outside the tower? I'm gonna go unsure. I genuinely don't know at this point. No. Okay. Does it have something to do with the tower itself? I think it's likely. If it's not this, then it's probably something with the two guys. Okay, it is something with the tower itself. So something has happened in the last like 12 hours since leaving with the tower itself. Okay. I'm gonna take a real quick, like 5-ish minute break. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna think on this for during the break. Y'all think on it too. I'll be back in like 5 minutes, and then I'll start trying to kind of wrap this up. Like I said, once we kind of figure out the situation at the radio tower, I'll probably wrap it up, but I'm gonna take a quick 5-minute break. And yeah, I'll see you in a few. Oops, y'all have probably been sitting in silence. I forgot I have like my headphones like mute Spotify whenever I take them off, which seems like a nice thing. It's more annoying than anything. Hello everybody, welcome back. All right, we're gonna wrap up, not like at this moment, but we're gonna try to, figure out what's going on with the radio station, and then probably start wrapping up. So what's going on with the radio station? Could be anything, could be everything. So it's not like we see a bunch of Iron Reapers outside the place, like surrounding it or anything. We don't see anything like that. Something with the radio station itself. My first thought is like just the thing's on fire. the thing is like on fire or burnt down already. Could be an option. I genuinely don't even know what else. Like that's the only thing that's come to mind at the moment when I was thinking about it for a hot few minutes there. So I don't know. I'm checking what else it could be. I mean, it could be something like yeah, I don't know. If it's not like someone outside of it, that's like the only thing is that's basically on fire. Maybe I'm just not that creative. Well, maybe we get some inspiration from Mythic. Like, give me a descriptor for what I'm seeing for this radio tower that's so shocking. Helplessly disagreeable. Okay, that doesn't. Helplessly disagreeable. One idea I thought that would be kind of fun also is that okay, here are my two ideas. And I could think about this more and probably come up with more, but it's either A, the radio tower's on fire or burnt down. I think and that seems, I think, likely, and that's probably what that's probably the odds I will give it when I ask Mythic is likely. I think that because, okay, if we see something concerning, we don't see people outside, that's kind of what makes the most sense, especially because of what just happened. So we fought those Iron Reapers, and we found a note for their kind of plans for the radio tower. And while I haven't quite figured out exactly what I wanted those plans to be, obviously Lilith knows because she's seen the note. At the end of the day, it seems like this radio tower might be a bit of a bigger deal than we anticipated, than the Neon Maruaders anticipated. They just thought it was like, oh, they were just using it for like annoying messages to discredit the Neon Maruaders. But clearly this note that we found on this other raider indicates that they had a lot bigger plans for the radio tower. And maybe it's the location of the tower, maybe it's the tower itself, maybe there's something buried under the tower. Okay, who knows? I feel like the paper we found is probably pretty vague, so it doesn't say too much, but just like something about the importance of the tower and big plans to come. Maybe it kind of makes like vague statements like that, right? So I think it's either that the radio tower's on fire or burnt down, or the other option I have is like we walk up to the radio tower and all of a sudden, you know, as we walk up to it, it's a big, you know, tower. Obviously it's a radio tower. We see hanging from it the flag for the Iron Reapers, which would not be a good sign, indicating that they have taken over the tower. And then, you know, what happened to Ghost and what happened to Circuit, you know? These are the questions. So I think either of those could be really interesting. I mean, I think the idea of the flag being outside is a little bit more interesting, because then if this tower's not burnt down, it could lead, you know, it could be some other stuff. We could actually do more with this tower here in the future, especially if it's a big deal. Which, now that I'm thinking about it, if this is such a big deal for the Iron Reapers, I don't know. It's tough because it depends on what exactly they need it for. But if it's a big deal, they wouldn't want to burn it down. But at the same time, if it's a very big deal and they know the Neon Maruaders have access to it, they might be so concerned they would burn it down themselves before letting us have access to it for whatever reason. I think both of them are valid. I mean, I think it could be burnt down, but I think that's a little less fun story-wise, because then we never get to figure out what exactly is going on with it. Yeah, you know what? We'll go with we'll ask Mythic. I'm going to go with very likely. Do we see some sort of flag hanging outside the radio tower for the Iron Reapers? I think that's very likely. Damn, Mythic, you're really screwing me here. Because the more I've been thinking about the fire idea, well, it is it's I think a decent idea. Like I said, I think there's not as much like story-wise to do with it if the radio tower just burns down. I mean, obviously we would try to figure out what they wanted to do with it, but at the end of the day, if it's burnt down, it's done with. There's no more radio tower stuff. So So the first thing we rolled up was, is there something of concern outside the radio tower? We decided, yes, there is. Was there something of concern? Yes. And then what was the I forgot what the second question was. I think it was, does it involve... The last one was, does it involve the radio tower? I forget what the unsure question was. Oh, I think it was, did we see something of concern? Yes. Is it like someone standing outside or a group of people? So we decided, no, it's not like a big group of people. That it does involve the radio tower, and it's not some sort of like flag or whatever has been posted up, like indicating that it's now changed owners, essentially. So that's not it either. So like, I want to figure out what this is, and then we'll kind of wrap up there. Helplessly disagreeable. That didn't really help me much. We're gonna do another descriptor, but I don't know if descriptor is what we need. Maybe we need action. Because like, yeah, whatever we see is not like people. It's not like there's like a death claw outside or anything. Or like a swarm of robots. That's not the case. We know it's not like a new flag, which I kind of liked that idea. Maybe I should have given it a higher odds, because I did like that idea, but Mythic said no. Because then I think that would have been fun, because then and I was going to maybe end it there. You know what, maybe, I don't do this often, but maybe, you know what, I'm going to go against Mythic, because I really like that idea, and I don't have many other ones. So you know what, as much as I like going with the flow with Mythic, at the end of the day, it's my game, and I get to play how I want. So you know what, I'm gonna say that despite Mythic saying that it is one way, I'm gonna say it's the other. And I'm going to say that what we see outside of the radio tower is a big old Iron Reaper flag hanging from the tower, which was not there when we left. Upon arriving at tower, we see a Iron Reaper flag hanging from the tower. Okay. And I like that idea for a few reasons. Like I said, I think the radio tower being burnt could be decent, but like I said, it kind of just doesn't let the tower be anything more. So clearly it seems like it's important to the Iron Reapers, but if they burn it down, there's nothing more to do with the tower. So I like kind of keeping it in play as like a story element type thing. And I like the idea of there being a Reaper flag hanging outside, because I think it really, because we're going to end it here. We're ending today's session here. And I think it's a kind of a fun cliffhanger, because we don't know what's going on. You know, did Ghost and Circuit leave their post and the Iron Reapers just walked in? Did Ghost and Circuit get killed and the Iron Reapers took back over the place? Did Ghost and Circuit get captured and we got to go save them? Did Ghost and Circuit just find a flag outside and hung it up as like a joke? That could be as well. We don't know. And I like that this kind of is a fun little cliffhanger, that we don't know what's going on with the tower. It could be back under their control. Who knows what happened to Ghost and Circuit inside? They're both unknown. They're not outside. So I kind of like that a little bit more for like a story aspect that leaves the tower in play, leaves a bit of question. And I think that's a good spot to kind of wrap up this little session, which I did want to get a little bit further, but I think we're making good story progress. We introduced a good couple characters. Got Talbot, the person asking for food. Who knows if they'll show up again. We had VRAM and Lilith all back fixed up after their last assault at the radio tower, but VRAM's getting injured again, and he's a little bit better, but we ran into those scientists selling art for their expansion, which we bought some. What else? We encountered the raiders, which we took down. We found the note about the radio tower and its importance, or I guess a plan for the radio tower, but it was pretty vague. And now we arrived at the radio tower to see a big old Iron Reaper flag hanging from the tower. Who knows what's going on inside? Who knows what happened to Ghost and Circuit, but we'll figure out next time. Which I think is a good spot to leave this at. I'm curious, but if you all are welcome for watching this in the future, and if you have a good suggestion on what maybe I could have done with the tower, you know, what maybe Lilith saw, let me know. I'm open to suggestions. This doesn't have to be what I do. I you know, this is what I'm going with at the moment, but obviously I'm ending here, so it'll probably be a couple weeks before I don't want it to be another 81 days before I come back to this playthrough. It's gonna be like 2-3 weeks max. I'd like to return to this ideally once a month, this playthrough. So let me know if you have any better suggestions. Do you like this suggestion? Should I have it been on fire instead and just burn it down and forget about the radio tower and move on to other stuff? Let me know. But I think what started out as was going to be a small side quest for me to take over the radio tower turned into a random event that's now turned into like kind of a big plot point almost for like the war of this radio tower, and I don't know what its importance is. I don't know if they just want to use it as like a stronghold and also for propaganda, and they have like a little base that's like kind of in this area. Maybe they just want to establish like a foothold in this area. I don't know, but I think it's, like I said, I think it's kind of interesting now that it's not going to be burnt down, and the what's going on inside of it is kind of unknown at the moment till we go kick open the door and figure out, are Circuit and Ghost kidnapped? Are they killed? Are they just chilling, drinking a Nuka-Cola and hung up a funny flag? Who knows, but we'll figure that out next time. But yeah, I'm gonna wrap up here. Like I said, I didn't want today's stream being too long, and that just felt like a good wrapping up point. So yeah, I'm glad I got to return to this for a little bit. Like I said, I will make it a point to return to this more often. Like I said, ideally like once a month at the very least. You know, I don't want it to be 80 days between, you know, maybe 20 or 30 days between each playthrough. I don't want to, you know, oversaturate it, overplay it, get sick of the game. But I do quite like these characters, this story, these factions, and I want to play this more. I think I said last session that I played that I was going to read the settlement guide book so I could start doing the settlement stuff, which I absolutely didn't do. But like for the castle, like they have the settlement page with stockpiles and food and effect. I said I was going to look into this and read it before today's session. That did not happen. I do apologize. I wanted to, and I intended to last time I said that, but stuff came up. I got busy, and I wanted to play this again, but I didn't want to have to try to read that whole other guidebook before having to continue this. So I will try to read it before next time I play. I'm not going to make any promises. I need to actually buy the PDF, read through it. At the very least, I want to read through the settlement section of it. But yeah, had a lot of fun here today. Felt like we made some good story progress. And yeah, I hope you all enjoyed this fun little Fallout Friday stream. That's about it. So I'll wrap up here. I'll quickly note, just this last week, I put out a video on defrags. Go check that out. It's a really cool tile laying kind of hand management game, computer themed. Lots of fun. Really enjoyed it. And then I'll be back on Sunday doing my solo gaming Sunday, where I will be returning pretty much. I'll be here again at my computer on Foundry, most likely is what I plan to play. Dragonbane, the RPG that I've been wanting to play for almost over a year now. It was last year at Gen Con that I picked up the starter like little booklet, and I've read through it, never played it, and now I have the full version. And now I'm starting to get around to actually playing. I've already created a character. I've read through most of the rules. This weekend, I'm going to be playing it a good amount to get more familiar with the system. And that's what I'll be playing Sunday. So hope to see you all there. Should be a good time. And that's all I got. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this stream, a like, of course, is always greatly appreciated. And until next time, I'll see you. Have a good week, everybody. I guess weekend. have a good weekend, everybody. And I will see you all on Sunday.